So our children often have, maybe not diagnosed, but certainly can attribute to a obsessive compulsive disorder. And we see that with, Angela talked about trains before, we see a lot of our children really quite obsessed with trains. Disney, Thomas, cars. Who's got an example? I'm sorry?
Cooking shows.
Cooking, okay, that's a one, it's educational. And certainly if you're seeking them put it into practice, it becomes practical. Examples, students with
Mountains.
compulsive behaviors. Mountains, okay, geologists. Anyone else? My brother, sports stats. He can tell you, professional and at a college level, the statistics of every single player on every single team. He will not want to engage in conversation with you about anything else. He may ask you your name and then ask you your favorite team. And the conversation will go from there. Based on your favorite team, he will name the players, he will name their statistics throughout that particular year. Not always socially the most appropriate means of conversation. Certainly, if I'm not a sports fan on any level, I'm not going to be able to engage him in any kind of conversation, which means, and Angela spoke about this earlier, that conversation is going to be very self-centered. He's going to be talking about what he likes. My opinions, wants, thoughts, needs, and emotions will never be included in the conversation. So what do we do in that respect? Sometimes, and Angela talked about this as well, we can use that to our advantage. If mountains are, this is your brother or student?
My student.
Your student. Your student loves mountains. Maybe we can take mountains, different famous mountains from across the globe, and incorporate them into curriculum, whether it be math or reading or science. I mean, there's a ton of stuff you can do with mountains. So depending on what it is, and if it's a littler guy, and it's Thomas, or if it's the movie Cars, we can take characters from those particular movies and those particular scenes and create curriculum based on that compulsion. Now, do we always want to do that? Do we want to feed into that compulsion? Do we want to, in some respects, overemphasize what's already overemphasized in that child's life? We don't always want to do it. And sometimes it's okay to purposefully not do it, to almost sabotage the child in that respect, because we are, in fact, teaching that life's not always going to revolve around that particular compulsion. There are going to be changes. There are going to be different movies. There is going to be different curriculum. So it's a wonderful tool to use to teach, but we also have to remember to do it in moderation. Make sense? Questions? It's the heat. You guys.